feeling the burn in the month of August and ready to throw in the towel in the garden, don't give up just yet. The month of August is one of the best months to get your seeds started for an abundant fall garden. In today's video, I'm going to talk all about which seeds you should be starting now. And spoiler, it's a lot. Now, I live in Florida, zone 9, so it is still extremely hot here, and it will be extremely hot for the next few months. We're going to start seeing that relief of the super hot temperatures and from the bugs fairly soon. So you'll want to take advantage of this unusual bridge month where you can still grow warm weather loving crops, and you can also consider getting some of those cooler and more sensitive weather loving crops started too. Before we get started, there's a few things to note or keep in mind. Now, I've got this Big Mac's pumpkin in front of me. What you'll want to pay attention to is on the back where it says 120 days right up there. I don't know if you can see that. Now that means that is 120 days estimated from seed to harvest. So that's from the time that you put this seed in the ground till you can expect a pumpkin big enough ready to harvest. It's going to be around 120 days. Now, if you live in a northern climate and you're expecting your first frost anywhere from the months of October or the early days of November, this is going to be a no-go for you. It's just too many days. If you live in one of those climates, you want to start consider crops that have less than 90 days from seed to harvest. Now this one says 85 days, and there are plenty of crops that you can grow that only have 45, 55, or 90 days. If you live in a warm climate like Florida, for example, which is where I live, you can pretty much have your pick of the litter with almost any crop that you desire. Crops I'm most focused on starting in the month of August would be all of your tomatoes. This is one of the best times of the year to grow tomatoes. The temperatures are not as severe. Although these types of crops love the warm temperatures, they also don't want to be crispy and absolutely burned to death. So if you get your seeds started now, by the time these plants are ready to transplant in the next 6 weeks or 4 weeks or so, you are going to be in a perfect environment where the temperatures have started to cool off gradually. The rainstorms are not absolutely torrential. They're a little bit more sporadic, which is going to create a perfect recipe for thriving tomato crops. Some of my all-time favorite tomato varieties, which will definitely be featured in my fall garden this year, are the mushroom basket tomatoes. These are absolutely beautiful, full of flavor, just a stunning heirloom variety that just screams like a garden tomato that you don't really find at the grocery store. I love growing the San Marzano tomatoes. I've made so much extraordinary tomato sauce with my homegrown San Marzano tomatoes. The Cherokee Purple is just a good classic. You can't go wrong with a Cherokee Purple. Pineapple tomato, which I know looks a little bit too good to be true. Now these particular tomatoes are so sweet and they're so beautiful. If you're a current subscriber to my channel, you know I love the pineapple tomatoes. They are huge and hearty varieties, but they are so sweet. Very different than any of my other tomatoes. Now the next crop is a crop you should be growing no matter where you live. I don't care how cold it's estimated to get, how quickly, you should be growing this crop right now. Peppers. I know, it sounds kind of crazy. Aren't they frost intolerant and sensitive to cooler temperatures? Yes, they absolutely are. However, peppers are actually perennial plants. Unfortunately, most people consider peppers to be annual plants, and they grow them as such, especially in a cooler climate up north. The really cool thing about peppers is they can last for years to come, especially if you plant these particular crops in pots. You can bring them inside through the winter time and overwinter them. And the beautiful thing is, as soon as those warmer temperatures start to come around in the spring months, you can put your pepper plants back outside and they will immediately start to come back to life and produce fruits. So if you're considering growing peppers in the springtime and you may not have enough time to enjoy a pepper crop right now, that does not exclude you from getting that footwork started now so you can just smooth sail going into those spring months. If you live in a warmer climate like Florida, get your peppers started now. You're going to be able to enjoy an amazing harvest. Perhaps through the winter time, if there's a few cooler nights or a few frost nights, just cover your plants and they might go a little bit dormant once it gets much cooler. But once it gets around to the springtime, those plants will explode and be ready to thrive again. Now, I've grown a lot of peppers in my time, and some of my favorite peppers to grow would be the Yolo Wonder Bell. Now, bell peppers are a little bit tricky in Florida because they don't love severe heat, which makes it an even better time to get your bell peppers started now. Next, I love growing banana peppers. I've only had great success with growing banana peppers here in Florida. If you've never heard of Tam jalapeno peppers, definitely add this to your list. These are just like jalapeno peppers, however, they are lacking in the heat. So you still get that amazing smoky flavor without all of the overwhelming heat, if that's something that you're looking for. The next crop I compel you to start now is eggplant. Now, eggplant is really similar to peppers where you can grow this crop for years to come. As long as you take the proper overwintering precautions, which means you are placing these crops in a warmer place through the frosted months and allowing them to come back to life in the springtime, you're golden with eggplants. Now, the reason I suggest you get your eggplant started now is these crops historically take a really long time from seed to harvest to start to grow, and they also love warmer temperatures. Most eggplant varieties take around 4 months to longer to go from seed to harvest. So again, get that work started now on the front end so you can immediately start enjoying an eggplant harvest as soon as those spring months come around if you're in a northern climate. Now, if you're in a warmer climate, you could definitely see an eggplant harvest in your future if you get those seeds started now. The next crop you'll want to get started now, if you don't already have it in your summer garden, is okra. Okra absolutely thrives in the hottest of temperatures, and it will also do well in a little bit more of a mild climate. Now, keep in mind, if you're expecting cooler temperatures in the next 2 months or so, this particular crop may not fare very well in your garden. But if you live in zone 8 or zone 9, this is an excellent crop to sneak in before those winter months start to cool off. One of the absolute best crops I would suggest anyone anywhere to grow now would be your beans. These are some black beans. I also have some lima beans. These are actually 50 days till maturity, which is record fast. I also have these kidney beans, 50 days to maturity, and I can't seem to find the seed packet because I literally just pulled it out. But the string bean varieties, those are also around 50 days. So these are really excellent options if you are just itching to have a harvest within the next 2 months and your frost date is nearing. Definitely consider growing beans. On the note of beans, you can consider growing garbanzo beans if you live in a warmer climate. These are going to take anywhere from 85 to 120 days. So if you are living in a cooler climate, I probably would not start those seeds because you're just going to waste your seeds, and these don't overwinter, so there's really no reason to waste garden space with it. But if you're living in a warmer climate, I would also consider getting some garbanzo beans started. When you think of fall, most people don't think cucumbers. Cucumbers are an excellent crop to get started in the fall, and I'll tell you why. These crops do not love extreme heat. It seems like they would be that type of crop, but they really don't. They're pretty sensitive to extreme heat, and they're also super sensitive to bug pressure. Fall is one of my favorite time of the year to grow cucumbers. Most cucumbers will start to produce in anywhere from 55 to 65 days, so it's a really quick turnover. It's a great option for most people in most climates right now, but it's especially good for the people who live in these super hot pressure climates because the temperatures start to cool off and that bug pressure, more importantly, gets a little bit less severe. In my personal experience, growing squash, whether it's winter squash or summer squash, can be really tricky in these warmer climates. There's a really small window of opportunity before the pests just start to decimate those particular crops. I've only had a great experience growing the summer squash, such as a gray zucchini, which is one of my favorite varieties to grow. Although it doesn't look like it, and it's a gray zucchini, which doesn't sound good, it's a very sweet variety, and they're actually smaller fruits. This is 60 days from seed to harvest, so I would definitely add that to your seed list. I've also loved growing this striped zucchini variety. It's an Italian striped variety, and it's definitely full of flavor and a little bit hardier when you're sauteing and things like that. It holds up to the heat better. You are going to have a lot less of a threat when it comes to squash vine borers this time of the year, because they've pretty much done their big flush of reproduction and hunting for those squash plants, and now at this point in the season they've pretty much gone dormant. When it comes to your winter squash, that's a completely different story. I have had an incredible time growing the butternut squash in Florida. No matter the time of the year, butternut squash pretty much grows with little to no intervention. So I absolutely love growing butternut squash. Plus, also, who doesn't love the taste of butternut squash? It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I would get those seeds started now. We have the spaghetti squash, which is a really good producer in these warmer climates. If you are wanting to start any type of sensitive winter squash, which are the varieties that take longer to grow and they can store for a longer period of time, and you live in a more volatile environment like zone 8 or 9, definitely give your winter squash a go. If you live in a northern climate and your average last frost is just in less than 2 months or so, I would definitely not waste garden space on those particular crops. Next are some heavy hitters I would suggest for anywhere in America, whether you're in a cold climate or a warm climate as well, is all of your kale and some of your brassicas. The reason I'm specifically mentioning kale is, from my particular experience, these crops hold up very well to hotter temperatures. I know it doesn't seem like that because they are cool weather loving crops, but from my experience, I have been able to grow these crops and make them last for years, sometimes 2 to 3 years, and they have held up just fine through those hot months, which is, I know, very surprising because brassicas don't typically do well in the hotter times of the year. However, kale, I do feel, is the exception to the rule for that. Swiss chard as well is a leafy green that is absolutely fantastic to grow. This only takes 45 days from seed to harvest, and especially if you're in one of those cooler climates, you're probably going to have a better crop when it comes to Swiss chard. They're similar to cucumber, where they like the heat, but they don't like the severe heat. So the next best time to grow Swiss chard would be in the month of May, before things get really crazy. When it comes to kale, most of these seeds are ready to harvest in as little as 30 to 60 days. You can honestly even start to harvest them as microgreens or at any stage in the game, which make these an excellent crop to start now. There are some root crops you'll definitely want to get started now. The rutabagas are going to thrive. These take anywhere from 90 to 95 days, so definitely keep that in mind from seed to harvest. You can also start any of your turnips, which are going to be less time than your rutabagas. These are only 40 to 45 days from seed to harvest. I've had a really cool experience growing this particular variety from Baker Creek. It's just really stunning and beautiful. And you can also give beets a go as well. These are anywhere from 50 to 60 days from seed to harvest. So you can definitely squeeze in a good root crop no matter where you live. On to some of the more touchy crops for the month of August. Spinach is going to be a crop I would probably wait till the second week of August before getting these seeds started. You can start them in August. I just probably wouldn't start them yet. have really great experience growing spinach by starting them in advance, allowing them to grow to about 4 to 6 weeks in their little starts before planting them out in the garden. And I have a whole method to do that. I do the dump method. You just dump a whole bunch of seeds in a whole area, and that's basically the only way I've had a great success with spinach. Now, if you are in a cooler climate, get your spinach started now. There's no reason to wait. These especially can be enjoyed microgreen anywhere from 30 to 40 days. You can wait, let them get mature. They're a more flexible crop. The next crops I'm going to talk about are ideal for you northern friends, but for the people in the warmer climates, I would proceed with caution towards the end of August, which you can still hit these particular crops right and get a really cool fall garden or a really cool fall crop from them. So these are all of your heavy hitter brassicas, such as your cabbage. We have our broccoli, and I don't have a cauliflower seed packet out right now. So what I will say is, of course, these crops love cooler temperatures. They thrive at about like 55, 65 degrees. So we are nowhere near looking towards those types of temperatures. But if you wait towards the end of April, you get those started, you plant them out in the month of October, you are going to have a beautiful brassica harvest come around November. One thing to consider when picking brassicas is to pick one that has less than these huge amounts of time, 60 to 90 days, because they are a one and done crop typically. Now, you can sometimes get a little bit of florets on the side after you've harvested broccoli and harvested cauliflower. However, it is taking up a lot of space for a huge amount of time. My advice would be to focus on crops that take as little as 48 days. Broccoli or cauliflower varieties that take less than 50 days do exist, and they take up a lot of space and a lot of time, as I said before. So I would definitely pay attention to that when you're picking your seeds. The next crops you can start to look forward to on this wheel of gardening transitions would be your garlic. It is not too late to go to the store, get some organic garlic cloves, and put them in the refrigerator to start the cold stratification process if you live in a warmer climate. Now, this is absolutely essential for the success of your garlic. The longer they're in the refrigerator, the more of a opportunity you're going to have to grow a successful garlic harvest, as well as planning out your onion starts approaching the month of September. So definitely keep those things in mind. Those are things I didn't necessarily talk about getting started directly in the garden or as far as like starts today, but they are things that are going to have more of a sensitive window of opportunity if you don't get those wheels in motion now. Next would be sweet potatoes. You can definitely get sweet potato slips started in Florida in the month of August. I hope this video helped you when selecting your seeds for the fall garden. It is truly one of my most favorite times of the year to grow just about anything. I feel like things kind of calm down and you can just grow things with more peace. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to give it a like. I would so appreciate that. Over the next month, there's going to be a lot to see here on the channel. I'm going to get my hands dirty, getting these seeds started. I also plan to start ripping my garden apart to revive it just in time for the fall garden. So definitely click subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any of that. My name is Shelby if you are new here, and thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, bye.